Can we follow it?
I mean, you got a better idea?
I'm baffled that there's
going.
anything working down here. Let's
I'm
let's
already
go.
chasing
Yeah, he pushes the mask up onto his forehead, just sort
I'm
of...
thinking that it's like a
we're good here.
relay situation where it's gonna go tattletale on us.
Yeah, you just sort of start following it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's pretty slow.
So
I will also remind you that we are basically completely, like, this entire time, the entire world is muted around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for this little robot.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only sound.
How big is this robot, by the way? It's person
No, I'm
size.
saying
Yeah,
because
it's like very person-sized.
we are like in a closed, intercom
closed line
call.
Right.
Communication.
We've basically been like, the world's been put on mute.
Yeah. So.
No, Wade definitely switched on open view.
I wanna come up to
Definitely
the
forgot.
robot and I wanna take it by its shoulder and like turn it around to face us.
It just stands there.
This is not a very advanced model.
It turns back around.
Pull it back around.
It turns back a little faster.
I just hold it by its shoulders. I mean, this is like a frail piece of machinery. It's not gonna go anywhere.
It just stands there.
Hello. Oh god, you know what? Just give it a shake. No!
You're making it cry. Stop it. Stop it.
A pet on the head.
I'll tell you this. That's not a normal sound it's making.
Actually, we can't hear that. So only Wade can hear
That
it.
is playing through your ship's, through your mech's speakers.
We can't.
Oh.
So
Like it's transmitting this signal, but it's not normal like Mech Arcana speak.
So I want to turn it off. Turn the speakers off. That it's going through.
Yeah.
Yes. Turn that off. So now it's quiet. That wasn't a normal sound, by the way, guys. I don't know what's up with it. I think it might be broken.
This might sound weird, but let's follow it.
Yep. I mean, I was thinking. Puts it down.
It turns around and starts walking.
We're walking, not talking. I was thinking that it was gonna go tell someone about us putting up those. You know, we did the whole
Why would they need a slow robot to come look at us?
saw trap thing.
They already know we're here.
Maybe it's...
You assume that there's someone else here. Yeah, I mean, if there is, it's probably just another machine.
I mean, why are we here? Who sent that message?
That's true, I guess.
It could be an old service robot, just going by old programming. But either way, I mean, it's something, right?
It walks down the hallway, and it turns down the hallway that has all the tripwires. And you see it, like, raise an arm and reach out. And it emits the noise again. And you see the wires coil. The wires themselves begin to move before detaching from the walls. They just sort of... And they start moving across the ground. Like wire snakes.
Well, that's freaky.
And they move over and they move up the leg of this thing. And they move into and around and just find their place in this machine. And it continues walking down the hallway. So we're just not going to address that, right?
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm good.
I got no comment.
You continue down the hallway. It takes you about like 20 feet before you reach a big door. And this one looks to be literally sealed. It has been welded shut in several places. It takes a left and walks a couple feet and just presses its hand against the wall. And you see it like jolt and waits like stepping back. Oh shit, hold on.
The wall jolts? Or
Yeah,
the robot?
the entire wall.
Okay.
I'll be real, I think this might have been a bad idea.
But Puddles has had his musket out this entire time. Just, like, waiting if something happens.
It jolts again. And even past your headsets, you hear just the most grating, grinding screech as a section of the wall pushes inwards and slides aside. And that steel shell moves inside.
We follow it.
It is not big enough for your mech to fit through.
How big is the little robot? It's person-sized?
Yeah.
Can I not duck? Can I not squeeze a little bit?
You could squeeze yourself through.
I mean, is it big enough for me on the inside?
You don't know.
Well, then I'm just gonna... I don't want to... This is like... Come on. This is like my main form of fighting. I don't want to leave it behind. So, I duck down and go in.
Alright, yeah. You, shove your head through. You turn sideways and pull yourself through. It goes on for a couple feet, but yes, you emerge into a room, and there's light.
Yeah.
You sort of pull your leg through, finally. And I'm assuming Wade and Puddles sort of saunter in afterwards.
Puddles is on my suit. Still, right?
Not while you were doing that.
Not during that, but yeah. He follows.
Does the Yoshi mount. And yes, you're in a sort of very industrially lit room. There's blinding white light everywhere. There's a steel floor. And as you look up, you see there's tables everywhere. There's a bunch of equipment that even you probably couldn't name half of this stuff. There's equipment just scattered everywhere. There's a bunch of parts. There are pieces you can identify as just hundreds of different steel shell and forge walkers and a bunch of clockwork parts and some steam pipes that are hooked up to engines. This looks like a tinkerer's closet.
Okay, and there's no one but the little robot around?
And roll perception, everyone.
Puddles gets a 14. Sarah gets a 5. Wade gets a 16.
Damn. You roll collectively high enough as a group to see there's another figure who's sort of off to the side of the room, sitting at one of the tables.
Approach the figure.
You just walk right at it.
I think
can't
we all
see
do,
it,
right?
So yes.
No, you do.
So what is it?
It is human.
So Puddles does keep an eye out for tripwires as he approaches.
I'm going to say with your
Yeah.
roll, you're going to say this room is not trapped. This figure is human-shaped as well as size. It is wrapped in a bunch of cloth you would consider maybe stitched or sewn together. Sometimes some places just tied on. Just covered in a bunch of different strips of cloth all around. And that continues up to the head, which is bound in bandage completely. From neck to top of head, it is where until the top of head allows hair to fall through.
Oh, so we can assume it is just like a wrapped up person.
Yep.
Because it has hair. Usually robots don't have hair.
Which is sitting still in this chair.
Okay, so I walk up to the thing. Does it do anything when I walk up to it, or?
No.
Okay. Is it moving at all?
Not that you can see. No.
Oh, just do a little wave. Hello, yo. Nothing.
No.
No. Can I give it a little? Try to pull at the bandages.
Yeah.
So I do that.
Roll.
What?
Roll what?
With a D8. Roll with a D8.
Oh, you're climbing.
Unarmed. Probably grappling. I don't think.
Yeah. 18.
The hand shoots up to
Okay, so that roll didn't matter at all then. Oh, my bad.
Might be.
Immediately, bro, I didn't know you were alive, man. Sorry.
It has been 10 years.
And I have to meet this bitch after 10 years.
No, dude, that sucks. That's rough, bro.
See him
Damn.
stand up.
Oh.
to their height.
Is he tall? Is he tall?
He's decently tall.
Twirls hair. Is he tall?
Is he tall?
Abby trying to twirl her hair. Like,
reaching like into it.
No, is he tall?
Just making like a swirl. Get that Jimmy Neutron cut.
that'd be Neutron.
I'm still taller though, right?
Yeah, in your back.
Yeah.
Definitely not out of your back. He's decently tall and like lanky. You can tell from like inside. He's wearing what used to you could say what used to be like a big like a white maybe a lab coat that's been torn apart and he's sewn different pieces on and wrapped himself in all of this.
That is weird. So it's like a home. So can we tell yet if this is a robot or a person just by like the way he talks and moves?
It looks like a person, right?
It looks like a person. He has hair.
Like, no promises given this campaign, but like,
Yeah.
it's
Like
seemingly human.
Oh, biggest plot twist, it's a secretly a robot.
It is secretly a robot a lot.
Damn. Oh,
I mean, it doesn't really
but
matter.
this is the voice message guy. Does he have the same voice?
Yeah. Hey there, we got your message.
You survived the trip.
Barely.
I mean, yeah, it was actually pretty anticlimactic to get over here.
Do not.
Well, I mean, like what's the whole deal with like the saw trap that was in the hallway?
Most visitors do not mean well.
Ooh.
And he's a gesture over to the table near him, which is just full of half-formed torsos of different machines.
Just
and you can
torsos?
see, like there's different like sections for parts. Most of these have been divided. You can tell.
You in the market for some new parts?
Parts. You're like he makes a noise. You're not exactly sure what's going on. It sounds like he's just sort of convulsing for a second.
He's just having a moment right now.
I could use some parts, but not the ones that you have.
So, can I perception him a little bit more? Can I see anything under those bandages?
Yeah, roll
I
perception.
really want to know if this is a guy.
That
or
seems
a
like more of
robot.
an insight thing,
'Cause
right?
if it's a robot, then I
This
could
is like
do
just like
something about
looking
that.
though.
It's visual? Okay.
Yeah.
In that
Looking.
case, you got an 8.
Damn. Okay. Damn. Nothing.
He moves pretty human.
Can I? Okay. I'm just gonna.
I mean, he looks. If he's wearing bandages, then presumably he is injured somewhere. Can you see any
blood? Any
injuries?
blood?
He's like Joshua Graham'd,
I see.
except for the top of his head, which allows
No,
more hair.
I want there to be like bandages and then his hair is sticking out all over the
That
place.
does happen a couple places, like down the sides of his head.
What's Wade's reaction to all this?
He has stayed by the door and like kept an eye on that exit.
Mm-hmm.
He's sort of just letting you two do the weird.
Sure.
So, what's with the bandages, dude? I'm sure you're very pretty under there. You don't need to hide. Be yourself. Be who you are.
You know, there's quite a poetic irony to that. I was once quite so.
So. Oh, okay. So, like, I don't mean to pry. Looks around. There's not much else around here to talk about. Like, did you have burns, or do you need parts, or?
He reaches up and he grasps at one of the bandages, and he starts to pull, and you see it come loose around him. The first thing you notice is that the color underneath the bandages is sort of a dull white. And he grabs more,
Darth Vader?
and he pulls them free. You see skeletal structure. He pulls the bandages free from his face. Or he doesn't, because he does not have a face.
So where's the hair coming from?
There is a seam where the skin has been removed.
Oh.
from ear to hairline and down to his jaw. He is skinless, and his eyes are gone, and he remains there.
Alright, so hold on a second.
So, wait, this is just his face skin?
Removed.
So everything on the inside of his mouth and nose and everything is still there?
No nose.
No, so he doesn't...
So, but is there still, like, flesh and bits under there, or are we, like, full lich over here?
Imagine if you literally just carved the face off someone.
Okay.
And
But-
you let it sit for 10 years.
Is he just, like, in really, really bad shape, or is there something supernatural going on here?
It looks like his face was surgically removed.
Okay, so just that. Just
Okay.
his face.
And pretty much all the flesh has been scored from his face.
I'm just imagining how weird it must be to look to see, like, the inside of his mouth is still, like, he still has a tongue.
Yeah, like, you see, like, he breathes, and from the two holes in his face, basically, you do see there is breath. It's cold enough in here. It is really cold, comparative to outside. You see the breath fog from his two nostril holes.
You know,
I mean, you're still pretty on the inside.
You're still nice and pretty and pink on the inside.
If you received my message... And you see, like, his jaw doesn't move when he's speaking.
Oh.
Then you must know the current state of things.
Let's assume that we do.
The end.
The end of the end of the...
The steel curtain. The waves. The plague.
Pose is like looking back to Wade, like, you got anything for this, or?
Like, big shrug.
God damn. How long have you been down here, dude?
10 years. 5 months. 1 week.
When did the whole...
3
Oh.
days.
I thought he was done. Shit. Wait, so how long ago did the whole lore with this place getting all, like, burned up and stuff happen?
That would be mid-Red War.
So was that
So
10 years?
No, that
ago?
would be like about 8
So
years
he
ago.
was... And you didn't think, like, to go get some groceries or, like, take a stroll outside or anything?
Yeah, seriously, well, I don't know about that, but seriously speaking, how have you survived here? Like, what do you eat?
Not all my visitors are of steel and cog.
Relatable.
And yeah, he does actually walk over, and he you see him grab an indent in the wall, and he turns something in a door, and the smell hits you.
Very fucked, but relatable.
Rot.
Okay.
And this is not a normal kind of rot, but it's one you recognize.
Yeah?
You recognize the smell of rats.
It's rat men. Just like...
You have met the plague.
Yes, Project Plague, I think is what it was called.
So that's what he's calling it now.
Yeah, right on the money. It's, so you've met Jeremiah then?
You see like back convulse, and he makes that noise again. It sounds just sort of like wheeze, cough. It's funny you should say that. And
I have been known to be a funny little guy.
Funny guy,
and he walks into that room. Like, he walks forward, and he flicks a light on. And he looks back at you.
He will, like, peer in.
There are no eyes in his head.
Oh, so that explains a couple things.
Yeah, no, so pretty much anything on his face has been, like, dried, scored, it has been pretty much like a clean skull that ends at like the chin.
Oh, so he has a chin?
Well, like it's
like here.
the jawline basically.
Yeah.
Enough so that he can still have mouth under bits.
Right.
So he doesn't have eyes. He doesn't have ears.
He does have ears.
He
It
does
ends.
have ears?
It ends right before the ears.
Okay, I got it. So it's just a faceplate gone.
Yeah, faceplate is
Situation.
removed.
Just like okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Puddles won't enter, but he'll like peer in.
If you seek answers, you must go to where they are buried.
You see Wade like look at that and like look at the door and like point at you and Sierra and I don't know. I mean,
We're already here.
he goes over and like picks up like a big leg section and he just like sort of jams it into the doorway.
Leg section
Yeah,
of like the robotic parts.
yeah. You just
Okay.
picked up a giant like a femur section and just jammed it in the door and just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what the fuck is that smell?
You're
You'll
not gonna
see.
like this.
Oh. Yeah, of course.
One question we have that you might be able to answer, sir. Well, actually, two questions. Number one, what is your name? I'm Puddles. This is, by the way.
Zero.
Long past, I had a name. It was taken from me, with my face and my voice. It was stolen.
You got like a nickname.
I am Job now.
And he flicks a light on. There is, you see there are chairs lined up against the wall. And there are the remains of skeletons who have been strapped to these chairs. And you see one of the chairs has its restraints that were broken. But the rest of them don't. There are, I think, 6 of them here. And they all bear a skeleton.
Is the chair with the broken straps empty?
Yes.
I'm assuming that the guy who was in the chair is Joe.
Seems like a safe assessment.
Jeremiah. You spoke that name. Do you know him?
Not well, but as far as we've been told, he is dead.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And you see him walk over to one of the skeletons. He pushes the skull back. And he runs a thumb over the lapel where a name tag sat. P.R.J. Grayson.
Jeremiah has been dead for a long time.
That doesn't really track with our timeline.
What? Okay, so then.
He lets the skull fall back, and he runs his thumb along the side of the skull, where you see there also lays a line along the facial structure.
So if you're saying that's Jeremiah, then who have we been fighting?
There is not a name for the thing that plagues this world. He takes his names. He takes all of a man. My name was once Benjamin. Benjamin Porter.
Was Sierra like,
He has taken that from me. Taken my face, my voice. Left me here.
And he gestures to the rest of the skeletons.
yeah, upon hearing that, Puddles is gonna be, alright, let's take a look. What? Number one, whoa. Number two, let's take a look at what these other names are real
Yeah,
quick.
right?
Alejandra Svioch,
Makes sense.
Benjamin Calderas,
Benjamin
don't
Wright.
know
Oh,
who that would be.
that's the fucking okay.
Who's that?
I'm just gonna make a called shot here. I'm gonna maybe the spider, maybe
Then there's John Rance.
John Rance. Never heard of that one.
Benjamin Calderas and John Rance. Those are just jackets.
Just jackets.
Yeah, those are the coats with the name tags on them.
Okay.
So there's no skeletons
What
in
else
this?
No
is
skeletons for those.
Okay, so out of the 6 seats, you said
Sorry, only there's one Alejandro Svioch,
Mhm.
Carmen Freed,
Carmen
and
Freed.
Jeremiah Grayson.
Okay.
You can assume.
So we're to assume that somebody took the likeness of these actual people and put them onto like robot zombie things.
Yeah. So
Or-
just one more time. Out of the 6 seats, who has skeletons in it? And who
3.
don't? Okay, and that's Alejandra, Jeremiah, and
Yeah.
Rance was the other skeleton, right?
Nope.
Who was it?
Freed.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah. You
assuming
want
that's
to
like the
read
same
all
guy.
this out for the
Professor Jeremiah Grayson, biomechanism. Sorry, these are listed
Biomechanism.
underneath.
Okay.
A specialty: Dr. Carmen Freed, theoretical sciences. Professor Alejandro Svioch, steam and steel theory. Professor Benjamin Porter, ancient history and religion. Dr. Benjamin Calderas, theoretical sciences, and then John Rance, supervisor.
So
These are all people from the hyper orbit, right? Teachers. You could,
oh really?
Men of science, great minds, explorers of things that should have remained hidden, creators of things that never should have been.
before we leave the room, can I do another perception check to make sure we've seen all the things to see?
Yeah, there's just this room extends into another one. You see, there's glass viewing ports. This extends into a giant hallway with cages, and you see there are corpses of rat.
Rotman. Isn't your mouth just watering, Puddles? Isn't it just watering?
Yeah, it smells like actual death down here.
So what exactly happened? Who did this to you and to these people?
He walks over and he picks up the coat. And then he throws it over to you. You can catch it, I'm assuming.
Yes. No, I let it drop on the floor. Fuck you. No, I pick it up. Yeah.
It's the one that bears John Rance. And you see, this one is just full of like bullet holes near the front and the back, just peppered with holes.
Puddles is gonna look at it, be like, look around. Actually,
There are no blood stains on it.
you know, actually, Puddles is gonna do something. So he has tracking.
Mm-hmm.
We've never really established if that was like nose tracking.
It's tracking the art.
Is there a way? So something that Sierra has had from the beginning of the campaign, on her jacket, is some Sviotic slime.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like compare that to the skeleton?
We can do that. You can smell it and then smell the jacket. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
is there? I don't know if that's
Ooh,
kind of a long
actually,
shot.
no, you
for-
pull that out. You smell that. It's been a while, and you haven't. I'm guessing you don't take this out to take like a whiff every night.
No, I
Yeah.
take a whiff every night before I go to bed.
You open it. The smell matches something down the hallway.
Can Puddles see that because he's a birdie bird?
Yeah, like that opens, and you like there was a foul stench, and that matches.
We can't see what it is attached to.
Puddles, yeah, Puddles is going to, and like he's had his the thing, like the audio thing, like turned
Right.
off so he can fucking talk to this guy.
Yeah.
But he's gonna turn that on, and approach whatever that smell is.
We'll find more than answers behind that door.
Puddles, like, does the door look like it's barred
It's just
or
a
sealed?
door. Yeah.
Alright, Puddles looks back and
I
then
want to stay. I'm gonna let Puddles
Like
do that, but
yeah,
I'm gonna stay with the guy.
Wade like stacks up beside it.
Puddles will.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. No.
It's big, open, empty room with. It's dark.
I'm an owl.
He's an owl.
It's real dark.
He's an owl.
Wait, like Richie's over. Just
Yeah.
You see, there's almost what looks like a throne type thing. It's a big chair that is mounted to the wall, and there is something sitting on top of it. There is, I wouldn't call it human shaped, but it is made of human and made of steam work and clockwork.
It's just like...
You see bones locked within this mechanism. You see it shaped like a human.
Okay, so it is human shaped.
Yes, you see it formed, half formed.
Puddles will slowly approach, not within like immediate range, but like halfway into the room, you know.
It is long dead.
What is it, though?
It is his creation.
Who?
The future.
Who's he?
Calderes.
Like the name tag that was over there.
Yeah, Calderis, if I just want to verify.
Was
make
he
sure
a
I'm not-
skeleton or an empty chair? I think he was an empty chair.
Empty.
Empty
Yeah,
chair. Okay.
Calderis is the guy. Where is it? Sorry.
You connected enough dots to Whisper.
Whisper. So the guy who's been controlling the rats is Benjamin.
Remember that
Calderis.
guy who was like on the roof?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and not just like whatever happened to Svioch and
So we thought that
Right.
was just stuff that Jeremiah did at first, and now, well, we did see that guy who did the rats, so probably like both of them. But now we're thinking that he did a lot more than we originally thought.
What lies beyond the face? The face is the one thing they were unable to replicate. So they took ours as soon as our purpose was fulfilled.
You see him, Job, walk into this room and to the creation as it is.
They tried many things. The fusion between flesh and steel.
what was the goal? What were they trying to do?
To create new life. To create the next kind. That was his obsession, though it was not his doctrine to do so.
Okay.
I admit that I was caught up in this obsession. I did not see what his true aspiration was, what he was sent to do.
Yeah, Puddles will get closer now and basically inspect this properly.
It looks like a clockwork, like a very intricately designed clockwork.
Yeah, Sierra, get over here. You might actually know how some of this works.
And you see, like, within it, there is a skeletal structure that is sort of displayed outside of it. It is
It's like an exoskeleton.
it is filled with these parts, and you can see as you come over and study this, they were trying to build muscle out of steel around these bones. They were trying to have the shape of a human powered by a steel shell.
Okay. So you were making like this zombie robot, whatever, and this something happened that you're vaguely talking about here that led it to die or them to stop
Ye-
working on it, whatever.
Walk.
But what was the point?
He reaches over to a desk and he slides something off the edge, and it is a circle. It is a disc with a half orb of pristine pearl.
Ooh.
How us here. Our designation was given to us by a man I did not understand, and by his son, of whom I underestimated. He instilled within us a monster.
He sets it back down.
A monster that runs freely now. You said you have met one calling himself Jeremiah.
Nods.
Yeah.
He taps on the metal skull.
They have succeeded then in their replication. Their life has become indistinguishable. They have proceeded then. If
So they've learned how to perfectly recreate a human.
to create their next kind, they called it. Those mutants, they were the first breed.
those mutants,
I don't know when that started. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
He gestures over. You see, like, on the wall, there are the pinned up skeletal structures, sort of in, like, a Da Vinci pattern of the rat mutants. You see, there are, like, there are smaller versions. There's one that looked larger and warped. There are some with almost human-looking skull structures.
One with big fucking titties.
Yeah, where's the big titty one?
You see, all of them are male.
Aww.
I mean, that makes sense. They want consistency.
They attempted.
Shut up.
They attempted many variations. They landed on one that was successful enough. The plague bearers. They breed rapidly, but they are lacking, they found. In the ancient days, they struggled with the prosperity of life. It became too much of a strain for the world to bear. The world itself rebelled, and it culled them.
He reaches over to the desk again. He opens a drawer, and he takes out a book, an actual leather-bound book, and he sets it down.
There are many things I've studied here, many beliefs I held that my colleagues called folly, myth, legend, false religion. Now I hold to them the only things true. They have attacked now. They must have. You've received my message. The time is nearing.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why have you waited so long?
I have been kept here. My isolation is complete. Their destruction of my work was almost so. But they did not. They were unable to destroy some things. We are at the end times now. Some things that were hidden are now to be.
And he opens the book, and he runs his fingers down. There's a large depiction on this page of, you see trees drawn near the bottom, and you see a figure that is rising several hundred feet above them. Just a large bipedal figure with glowing eyes standing above the trees.
Oh, right. Is that what we saw when we were coming in? We saw something moving around. Is that what that was? This points at the page. This?
Life has grown too great here. The world began to cull it, but it was rejuvenation was halted. We live in a sickly shell of our world. But it is drawing near again. The end. The all end. The world gathers itself to the eye. You've seen it.
He turns over to Sierra.
You've seen it yourself.
The big thing that's in this page. Is it a robot?
Colossus.
Yeah, we saw something like that. I guess it was. If you're telling me that that's what that is, yes, we saw it.
It awakens then. Tell me, does war spring over the surface?
Yeah, Puddles nods. It's just started.
It's been pretty ratty up there.
Then it begins. His plan.
He stops, and he like someone like jerks back to you.
Have you met a shapeshifter?
Yes.
You see, like fist, like close.
Wait,
Puddles sweats, like tries very hard not to look directly at Sierra.
Close
wait,
and,
have
like,
Sierra and
knuckles
Puddles
pop.
met the shapeshifter, or was that just Theo and?
I mean,
Claire?
yeah, we met the spider once, but also
Yeah, but but I assume he's talking about Rubber Guy, not just regular shapeshifter person.
I mean, we haven't met him.
One
No, we haven't then.
that has taken my face, my voice, my comrades.
We've met at least one porter before, but I've killed him myself.
Were his bowels that of steel?
Yes.
He turns and like starts like he sweeps everything off the desk and like is like digging through like a box, like very violently. Like eventually like rots through. He pulls out a picture, and like sets it down and just like pries the picture out of it, and he shows it to you, and it's a lineup of people, and it is oddly familiar faces.
Yeah.
To you. You see Jeremiah, who's younger. He doesn't bear the long hair. He has
Yeah.
glasses.
What did
Is he-
Jeremiah look like before?
Is he wearing the bowler hat?
Yes.
Okay, stupid.
You
one.
see slightly shorter. You see Porter there. You see this lineup of people there. You see Svjocic in her younger days as just a human.
Hey, can you tell us?
Yeah, it's happening.
Huh?
It's going on. Svjocic has it going on.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking.
You recognize one of the shorter...
Wait, does Svjocic have the octo?
No, she's just a person in
person?
this photo.
Does she have the octopus?
Does she don't know she had the octo? What do you
You recognize
go
one
to
of the...
Svjocic?
From the name of her tag, she's somewhat shorter statured.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize a face that you weren't expecting to see.
Really?
You recognize the face of someone who would call herself the Spider.
Hmm.
And is she
Under
just
the name
normal
Carmen
there?
Freed. Just a person.
Oh,
At the end of the line, you reach the two you don't. Benjamin Calderas and John Rance. You don't recognize those two.
can we?
But you see Rance is wearing he's wearing a uniform of Strauss territory.
Oh, God.
Do you recognize any of these faces?
Most of them, actually. So this is Jeremiah. This right here, we know her as Svjocic. She was our employer for a time, and recently we found out she's a robot who can do mind control things.
He rests a hand on the metal skull.
Over here is you. We've met a couple of him, I think. I don't know. I killed one of them. And then this one. It's been a while since I've seen her. The spider is what she calls herself. And she is a shapeshifter. I know that much.
Spider. He makes the wheezing, sort of coughing sound again.
Delicate spider, spin his web. He was always one for theatrics.
He presses a finger to the picture of John Rance.
You did not meet a simple flesh copy. You met a monster. Its form has no shape. It has no name. And its hunger can never be sated. He instilled that monster with us. It turned on us. It has our faces.
So Rance introduced a monster. Did he create it, or?
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah.
He was the monster.
Oh, I see. But was that of his own doing, or like did he enhance his abilities beforehand, or was he born like that? What?
He is not human. Not anymore.
But he was.
Not after what they did to him. He was before a shapeshifter. They found something down, buried in the stone. Kept it hidden for many years.
You see him like settle against a wall and slide down. He reaches over and he grasps another dial and he turns it to the right and then a few to the left and he adjusts it for a bit. And you see the one of the walls go click in and slide away. And there's a rotating cage full of compartments that cycle through and they click on.
It's like Wally.
Yeah, that thing, but pretty much wall-sized. And the lights flicker on.
You'll find many answers that you did not yet ask the question to. He sent you here, didn't he?
Who?
He reaches up and he taps the pearl again.
Their line has been at this for far longer than I thought. Right under our noses. The last line of the Councilate.
He points over to the shelf.
We'll go take a look.
It's on the shelf. There is several diodes and readouts that were apparently they're all shut off now. But there was a glass case that has been smashed, and there's a research journal that has been opened beside it. And this does have several spots of blood flecked over it, but it's open to what you assume to be the last entry. Yeah, you read it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna pour over it.
It's the last entry is.
Well, actually, before we go to the last entry, I'm gonna look at the front. What is the book called? What is it titled?
This is Studies of Object 1522.
Okay.
Okay.
Flips to the back then.
This is third month, day 5. Or, sorry, third month, day 52. Not much activity now. There is some talk of some international conflict, so we might actually have to move the dig site. The research has been going well, though I don't really trust everything Benjamin's been telling me about it. I know he's getting funding from somewhere, but he won't tell us where. He's moving a lot more equipment in here than should be necessary to test out biomechanics. But that's none of my concern, actually, now that I think about it. But the artifact itself has been reacting interestingly to the things we've introduced to it, specifically organic material. The last time we gave it a sample, it reacted very strongly, and the material began mutating at an unprecedented level, and it cuts off.
So it's our biomechanism, so I think that was Jeremiah who wrote that.
Yeah, you could assume.
Alright, he's gonna flip through then to the beginning and try and see like what, basically looking for descriptors of this object.
There's drawings, actually.
Okay.
This looks to be a hand. A severed, blackened, mummified hand. Missing several fingers, but still remaining there. They discovered it while drilling for space, actually. They were just drilling down and they discovered a giant metal box. It took them like 7 weeks to open. It was just a steel. Basically, they dug a hole, threw the hand in, and then poured molten steel on top of it.
Oh.
And so they encased it in this. And so they eventually cut it open and freed this thing. And their results were that it's obviously just a mummified hand, but they were getting pulse from it. And so they started introducing it to things. It had weird effects on magical items. It would disrupt things. But then, as the latest entry reads, the second they would give it organic material, it would start mutating at a rapid pace. And it was actually given a name eventually. You see, there's entries from that are marked as Benjamin. Where there's he was looking up ancient texts. There was mythology about things like that, and then he found something that was called Grasp of Pestilence. It was supposedly the hand of a great demon that was severed thousands of years ago.
We're reading a fairy tale right now.
And it was supposedly cut off and used to defeat one of the other demons. And then after it began spreading just these great plagues. So it was buried. It was encased in steel and buried, never to be found again. It was supposedly being guarded.
And what's the date on this book?
The actual legend?
No, like the date on the journal itself.
This is...
Though that's good information to know, too, how old they think it is.
This is about 5 years before the first Unification Wars.
Okay, so about, like, 21 years ago?
Yeah. But it was said that this... but the legend stated that it was lost to Archipelagos, or the Isle of the Colossus, which was supposedly this great holy graveyard, basically, where the Colossus would watch over evils. So it's basically like their version of like Tartarus, where great evils were locked away.
And is there any indication? I suppose not, since this book just cut off abruptly. So I guess Puddles will turn back to Job. Is there this artifact? Where is it now?
You saw him.
What?
He stands and points over to the room with the cages and starts walking towards it.
Yeah, Puddles will follow.
Inside the cages, you see there are blackened corpses. They've been sprayed with flame. They've been burnt into the ground. There are several outlines where something has been just vaporized. And there's one where the bars are just bent outwards.
took it. He believed he could control it. It took a grasp on his mind and his body. He used it to kill everyone here. Not before freeing their faces from their skulls.
To be clear, he's talking about Rance, right? So, did this artifact give him his power then?
It allowed him to change far more than the body would allow. To change shape, size, even state of matter. He could become a fine liquid or a steel, impervious to damage. He was planted here among us. I see it now. He never trusted us to willingly give up our research. So he gave to us a trap. One he knew would respond to his threats and his bribes.
And you said we've met this guy?
He takes the form of his victims. He works for him now.
He works for,
Calderas?
Calderas?
Are they working together?
Strauss.
I think has Puddles heard that name before?
You would know it.
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, I suppose he would.
You would know who the Strauss family is.
Does Sierra know?
Yeah, no, they're like very public figures.
Wait, hold the fuck up. Puddles goes back, sorts through his shit, pulls out you know, actually it wouldn't be on there because they weren't idiots. It's nothing.
What was Richard's father's name?
Mitchell. Because I thought it would be funny to have a character named Mickey Strauss.
Yes.
Mitch Strauss, that backstabbing bastard. He's usurped now, isn't he? By his son.
Is that public knowledge?
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
We don't know. We shrug.
I know the Strauss is a important imperial family. I don't know any more details than that.
You can identify the sound as a laugh now
Hmm.
that he keeps making.
They're not imperial. For millennia, they've remained true to only one aspect. The Consulate. They've been practitioners of black magic for as long as they've been a family. They put us down here to study and report what we could find. The merging of steel and flesh. The corruption of the mind. And now he unleashes our projects on the world.
So, let me see if I understand this correctly. Rance works for the Strauss under the name of all of these individuals. So that explains most things, but Calderas' body isn't here, and I know that he's still alive. We've encountered him not directly, but we've fought some of his not creations, but beings under his control. How does he fit into all of this?
He betrayed us. He was the one link to the world. He was swayed by the promise of money and power and safety in the new world. He knew what Rance was, what he was capable of. He sold us out. Now, he uses my work, our work, ride on the world, don't they? They ride in legion. The work of my hands, of my brothers. Foul unlife. But it is no matter. There is an element of purity in this. The focusing element is pain. It allows you to see in clarity. But the purifying element is fire. And so fire shall be brought. You will bring purity to this world now.
That hopefully that is our Puddles is like, man, I don't know how to
I don't know how to follow up that.
I don't know how to follow that up, and also I'm just a little guy, but like that's what we've been trying to do. There is speaking of fire, that reminded me in all of this. So Jeremiah did a lot of made a lot of creations.
Yes, his work with steel was unconventional, but he was a genius in his field.
Before Rance destroyed all of this, what was his purpose for his many creations that he brought to life? Because I've met a few of them.
He and Benjamin worked very closely. They developed.
He slides his fingers over the metallic skull, and then he presses in on one side, and it pops open. He begins prying it apart. You see, familiar. This face splits into many different sections of speakers, though these are larger and bulkier.
His purpose was to control the creations. If our monsters had no master, then we had no purpose, but he sought to bend the very fibers of the mind.
Would you mind if I took this?
He
Took the skull?
gestures to it.
I mean, if this can shut down anything that Jeremiah has created, this could be invaluable.
No, I believe that is not what you seek. But I know what is.
And he walks over to the spinning cabinets again. And you see him punch in a code.
Mm-hmm.
And the lights flicker, and it rotates again. And the entire shelf this time is a single case of stone. That has been, there's a label marked on it as unstable, do not open. And he braces against it and heaves upwards. And the room grows cold. The room is thrown into almost freezing temperatures as he lifts this, and the air is just completely fogged for a moment as the case is opened.
This is what you seek. We found more than bones down here.
He takes, beside the case, there's a giant, like torso-sized glove of, like, a steel gauntlet. And he slides his arm into, and it attaches, and he reaches into the case, and he pulls out a rod, and you can't see it. He pulls out something that you are unable to see because no light is bouncing off of it. It is absorbing all light in the room. You see the steel gather frost as he wields it.
This was bound to the hand when we found
and he lifts it up, and the lights blink out. And he moves it around, and everywhere it moves, lights, machines shut down before he sets it back down in the case. And he closes it, and the room immediately starts heating back up.
You said that's what we seek?
No. It is known as null. No light, no heat escapes it. It emits no energy, no vibration, and none can exist within it. It is a material of pure, unadulterated stillness, cold, and it does not allow the fibers of magic to pass.
That's very impressive, but logistically, if it doesn't, I don't know how we would get it out of here.
In the case. In the case.
The building around you shakes.
The time is near. It gathers, you have seen it. The world gathers itself. It draws back.
You see him, like, legitimately kind of slump over the case.
It draws its powers back to itself. It readies to purge the evil that has sprung forth. The Colossus awakes.